Hello everyone, this is Derek. Today I am doing a My Thoughts video game review on the game Omega Quintet for the PlayStation 4. You've probably seen some of my videos if you watch my channel at all. I've done a couple of gameplay videos and things. I really love that share button on the PlayStation 4 because I don't really have a setup to record gameplay footage and that's probably not something that I really could afford to or I guess want to spend the money on doing, at least at this point in my YouTube life. But to have it something built into the system like that where I can just use it, it's fantastic. So I love that, and hopefully going forward more PlayStation 4 games will be able to, I'll be able to just show more gameplay, just gameplay overviews. I probably will never do Let's Plays, it's not really my thing, but I do like to kind of give an overview possibly of the game. Certainly will help make these videos a little bit easier too if I can always reference back to an actual gameplay video if there's something that I'm trying to explain in the gameplay. So, but this game is actually going to be, or this video, excuse me, is actually going to be my thoughts on the game and kind of how much fun I had and what I think of it. So the game itself is, first of all, the thing I think to be aware of with this game, and I'm sure if you look at any video of it or even just the cover art, you're going to know right away if this is something that you immediately don't like, because it is a very anime style game. It is a cute anime cartoony sort of game, and some people love that and some people absolutely hate that. So it just depends on you. If you're someone that doesn't like the anime style, this game's not going to change your mind because it really revels in that. It's got all of the sort of tropes that are associated with it, and again, you like it or you won't. And I personally like that style a lot. I think it's a lot of fun for what it is, and it's something that I enjoy. And Omega Quintet is a game that I really enjoyed. I had a really fun time with it. There was a lot of things in the game and in the gameplay and in the story that I really found to appreciate and enjoy. So the game's story is that in the world has sort of been taken over by this thing called the Blair. And it is a sort of evil fog type thing full of monsters, and they refer to these monsters as the Blair as well. And the humanity has basically been reduced to living in this small city. At least that's all that we see. I guess it's possible that in other parts of the world there are other smaller outposts, but all we see in this game is this one city that the humans have basically kind of fortified themselves inside. The reason that they're able to do that is because there are certain people that can fight the Blair, and there are some of them in the city, and those are the Verse Maidens, and those are the characters that you play as in the game. So the Verse Maidens are these girls that have been sort of infused with this magical ability, and in addition to, they are able to use the power of song and dance to get rid of the Blair. So again, it's going to have that silly anime kind of thing. You can tell right there what type of story this is. So you're playing as these characters, and the game itself is very much in the style of a straight up turn-based RPG. You're wandering around, you get into fights, not random fights, you can see the enemies on the battlefield, but it's turn-based, and you have your characters on one side, their characters on the other, and plays through that way. The game itself has 5 characters that you play as, and each one has their own sort of abilities. You have abilities that are based on the weapon and also abilities that are based on magic. So it's all very traditional in that respect. Where this game makes its sort of own unique mark is through its story and through the idea that it is the power of song and dance that's destroying the enemies. And it's really fun. And the game is very lighthearted, it's very silly, it's funny, and it uses a lot of anime tropes, but it does so knowingly. And in fact, the game is so sort of emulating or sending up anime that the game is even divided into episodes that have an opening scene with a song and credits, and then a closing scene at the end of each chapter as well with the credits, and they really present it like you're watching a series of an anime show. Which I thought was really fun. I mean, and granted, after a while you're just going to skip past that because you've seen it 3 or 4 times, but it's still a neat idea, and it's really fun, and it kind of keeps the game going forward, moving forward, and really feeling solid. When it comes to the gameplay, overall, the gameplay is a little on the easy side. There are a couple of times where I found there were some challenging enemies and some weird difficulty spikes where things would be going along fairly straightforwardly, and then all of a sudden things got really hard out of nowhere, which was a little frustrating. But overall, the game is not super difficult. So that's something, if you're looking for a game to really challenge you, this really probably isn't it, at least not, maybe if subsequent playthroughs, or if you unlock higher difficulties. I don't even remember if that's an option now. But if at least on the initial playthrough, it's not really all that difficult. The one thing I do have to say about the game, though, that really did frustrate me, and probably my biggest frustration with the game, has to do with the way that certain abilities are unlocked. So you have these special abilities that are unique to each of the characters, and they are things that they can do in the environment to get through. So one of them can knock down certain obstacles. Another one can eliminate a patch of sort of dangerous, this Blair fog. They can get rid of that so that you can move past it. And it all sets up these barriers in the environment for you to try to have to get through. The problem is, you don't know exactly where to go to level up these different abilities. So each different girl has a different trait, and at different levels you can unlock and get past certain obstacles. But the game itself doesn't really tell you how it does that. The way it does do it is through side quests. You have to do certain side quests to be able to improve those abilities. But you don't know which side quests do it. You don't know, and sometimes it can be a side quest that's in the end of a chain. So you have to do several of them going up to that one that will unlock that ability. So a lot of times you're really going through these environments and you just can't get through, and you don't know how to improve your character to get through. And also these things are going to be generally in certain parts of certain chapters of the game. So you don't know, should I be trying to find more side quests to do it now, or is it something that happens later? And to me it was really frustrating because I just didn't like not knowing. But the bigger part of it is not even so much that. That I could probably get past if that's all that it was. But the thing that I don't like is that some of the quests that you have to do to unlock these abilities are quests that really just require you to use special attacks or special spells that the girls do together. There are some combo attacks that they can do, and it will require you to just use those in a, you get the quest and says, hey, I'd love to see you use this ability. You use it, you fulfill the quest requirements. But all of those combo abilities are in items. You have to find certain items that will unlock your ability to use those combos. And so you're adding on top of a layer of, I don't know what this quest is going to give me this ability. On top of that, you're adding, I don't know what item it's going to require for me to be able to do this, to complete the quest. I don't know where it's located. So it really just sent me to a walkthrough, back and over and over and over, to see, okay, where is this item? Where is it going to be? Because I just didn't want to, it wasn't something that I wanted to spend a lot of time just messing around and trying to figure out on my own. If you're someone that likes that, maybe you'll love it. Maybe you'll love the sense of discovery, to spend the time and trying to find all these things and explore every nook and cranny of the world. That's, and that's great. It just wasn't something that I enjoyed. The other part of it is too that really threw me off is that some of these items are located in the sort of central hub where you are. There's a training room where you can practice different abilities. And of course I just thought it was going to be something, if you needed to level up a little bit, you could have, and just kind of convenient way to get to a lot of monsters, or if you wanted to practice different strategies and that sort of thing. Well, it turns out that actually that area has items in it, and some of the items that you need for these quests are going to be located in there. So it's something that to me, initially I had just sort of ignored it for a big chunk of the game because I just never really needed to practice my combat. I had no idea that those items were located in there. So that was kind of, again, something that just frustrated me. I just didn't enjoy that aspect of it. Another part of it is too, though, that also leads to another thing that I found frustrating, is that this game is one that has multiple endings, but the true ending is extremely convoluted to get to. And it's one that doesn't take much for you to screw up and then basically ruin your game. Because you have to complete just about every side quest in the game to get the true ending. But a lot of side quests don't unlock unless you fulfill certain requirements. And some of these certain requirements require you to have done other side quests. And there's just all of these things that are, or you're also supposed to have certain, one of the things that you're doing as you're singing and dancing, is you're building up the rapport and the confidence of the town in you and your abilities. Your confidence level has to be at a certain level to unlock certain quests. But again, nowhere is explained to you, nowhere do you understand. And if you're someone who's really trying to 100% this thing without going to a walkthrough, how would you know whether it's time to move on to that next chapter? The other thing is, as well, is you don't always know which quest is going to take you to the end of the chapter. Usually it's one of the main quests, which you kind of do have an idea of which ones those are, but still, there were a couple of times where I was surprised. I just didn't expect to be taken to the end of the chapter when I was, and at that point, some of those quests got locked out. They expired, I couldn't finish them, and it was too late. At that point, even like in the second or third chapter, that's it. The true ending is lost to me. I'd have to start the game over. And that to me is just, I hate that. I hate that with a fiery passion. I've said before many times, I don't like replaying games. It's not my thing, so I don't want to go through a game multiple times, especially one that's that long, a good 45-hour, 50-hour game. I don't want to play through that multiple times. I don't have time. And it would be boring, too, to play through it multiple times. To me, I know some people love the replay thing. It's just not me. But the thing about it is to make that true ending so vague and so esoteric and so difficult to figure out is frustrating, on top of the fact that the ending that you get, and it would be one thing if it was, okay, the true ending just reveals some extra little bits or extra things, or no, I mean, if you don't get the true ending, if you just get the sort of regular ending, you're going to have a ton of unanswered questions. There are going to be so many things about this story that you have no idea what was going on. And to me, that's frustrating. You know, at least give me some closure, give me something to take, to have that sense of accomplishment with it, even if I didn't go to the true ending. And if the true ending should be just sort of for bonus extra stuff. But there's a whole other chapter in the game that you get if you unlock the true ending that I didn't receive. And that to me, again, I don't like that. I don't like that game style approach. I don't like that choice. To me, it was a bad decision. And it really soured the game, unfortunately, because at the end of it, then I was really left kind of wanting. Up until that point, I'd had a great time with the game. Absolutely loved it. And that kind of left a sour taste in my mouth at the end, which is really unfortunate. But again, that's something that you may or may not be as bothered by as I am. Also, there is the true ending available on YouTube, although it's like 2 hours long, and it's just the cutscenes, but again, it's a whole chapter of the game, so it's like about 2 hours. I've gotten through about maybe an hour of it, so I've gone through about half of it. I'm still working to watch it, because that's all I'm going to do. I'm just going to watch it, find out what happened, and be done, because I don't want to play through the game a second time. But again, I really did enjoy the game, so that big criticism aside, and again, even though it left a sour taste in my mouth, up until that point, I've been having a blast with it. It was very lighthearted, very fun, very colorful and bright. The graphics are, yeah, they're okay. They certainly don't look like a PlayStation 4, but whatever. Still, the gameplay to me is what matters more than the graphics, even though, graphics are nice, but it really didn't bother me all that much. The characters were fun and funny and silly. I had a really good time with the game overall. I really do recommend it if you like this type of game. If you're someone who likes the kind of stuff that like NIS America or Compile Hard or any of these kind of companies put out, you might like this. I think you will. If you like that sort of thing, you'll probably enjoy this. If you're a fan of something like Hyperdimension Neptunia or Mugen Souls or anything like that, you'll probably have a really good time with this game. But again, maybe take a quick peek at a walkthrough beforehand if you're really trying to get that true ending, because honestly, I don't know how you would do it without going into it with that gameplay or game plan in advance. And if you don't want to do that, then just be prepared to watch the ending on YouTube, because I think the stumbling on the true ending would be a little tricky. I'm sure it's possible, but I think it would be hard. And again, not a design choice I like, but the gameplay itself is a lot of fun. So hopefully, again, I'll be able to do more videos where I can actually have gameplay videos. I think it makes the reviews a little bit easier because I'm not going through all the mechanics of the game as much as I am just my impressions on it. Plus, honestly, it's more interesting to watch those types of things if you're talking about gameplay mechanics than it is to be told about them. So hopefully this will be something that you all will appreciate and enjoy a little bit more. But again, that share button is just such a fantastic addition. I'm really happy with that. So thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions for me about the game or would like me to go into any further detail about it, just drop me a line. I'd be happy to talk with you about it or any other games. I really appreciate everybody that watches the videos and subscribes. It's a lot of fun to do these, and I appreciate every view that I get. Thanks so much.